Hi yogis. This is my closing message for 2020 and I feel a little bit like the Queen when she comes in with her Christmas message to all of her subjects. But it's not going to be that stuffy. I am sitting on the floor in my parents' spare bedroom because the light is good and I'm hiding from my children. So here I am. I did want to do this because I wanted to share with you, a little bit of what I've come to understand this year, what's happened at Vital Beat this year, what's coming to Vital Beat, and, where the direction that we're heading and where we've come from. And, really importantly, I want to stress that none of this exists without our community. And I've really learnt that a lot this year. I've learned a lot about the power of a handful of people to either sink or float a business. When COVID first hit and I had a newborn baby, we just started renovating a 300 square meter premises and we got told, you have to close your doors. And there was not yet any word of financial support or rebates or any of that kind of stuff. I lost my shit. I really unraveled, and to navigate that unraveling, I just threw everything I had at the studio. And so we were there at the premises a lot, just a lot. And, building the wellness rooms, finishing the yoga room, laying the flooring, painting walls, building cabinetry, it was just nonstop. And then we'd have off to the side a camera set up to film video content, and then I'd stop and breastfeed. It was just absolutely relentless. And I don't think I've ever worked so bloody hard in my life, because the online business suddenly became a parallel. So there were two things happening. But we came out of that, and we came out of that shining because we had this incredible community backing us, rallying around us, riding the journey with us, getting excited about the future with us. And I don't think that any business can survive without a community like that when it comes to things like bloody pandemics. You need a squad. You need people on your side. You need your team. And I, testament to my team, my incredible teachers who, were willing to come and film and keep that, keep that content going. We were clocking 1,400 video views a week. Almost our entire student base moved online, and it happened within a week. And it was just really, really heartwarming, really, really humbling, and just an amazing thing to be a part of. And it's weird for me still after 5 years to think. I'm a business owner, because I feel more like a facilitator of spaces. I feel more like I am a person that creates a container, and that container has, it's the brand, it's the staff that I hire, it's the fit outs, it's the classes, it's the offerings, it's all the community, it's all the charity, it's all of that. This is the container, and my job is to keep the sides of the container, to have integrity, and then within that container, what happens is kind of out of my control, and within that container is the teachers and their relationship with the students. It's the students and their relationship with each other. It's the magic that happens in the studio and in the classes that is out of my control. And so for me, I felt like this whole year was just my whole responsibility was to just keep this container going. And that was, raise a baby and fit out a building. And so that was my whole job for the whole year. So we've got to the end of this year and I'm like, maybe I can put that container down and trust that now the integrity will maintain itself, now that we're on the other side of a pandemic. So, I've learnt a lot about leadership. I've learnt a lot about staying ahead of the curve. I've learnt a lot about initiatives. I've learnt a lot about self-reflection from a social perspective, a community perspective, an entrepreneurial perspective, a parenting perspective. It's been a massive year for me. I also shaved my head, got a tattoo and pierced my nose. So clearly I'm having a midlife crisis. But lots of other things have happened in the world, and so I'm shifting my focus a lot to social justice work, diversity work, equity work, and you will see that come through a lot more in the business over the next kind of 6 months and beyond. The business model itself is changing. There's lots of things happening behind the scenes, and I can hopefully tell you more about that in 2 weeks, just not yet. And so I come to the end of the year and I look back and I go, wow, that was friggin' hectic. That was hectic. But I also consider all of the things that happened internally, dealing with birth trauma, getting business awards, launching yoga teacher training, really changing our stance on diversity and equity within yoga, within the industry, but also within the studio. And getting to this point now where I'm starting to feel way, way, way more aligned with who I am, what I stand for, what the business stands for, the kind of people I want working for me, the kind of community that I want to have in the studio, the kind of people that I want to have come through the doors, and the kind of people I want to create this container for. So I come to the end of 2020, I'm like, yes, 2020 was the year that was. Awful, crappy, life-altering, but also really interesting and really... I spent a lot of time being curious and exploratory and reading and learning, and I guess what they say in our kind of context, in our woo-woo world, is doing the work. We're doing the work. So I'm conscious of not taking too much more of your time, but I do want to say that I'm absolutely, completely and utterly grateful for who we have around us, and friends and family, staff, students, community. We've got students this year who've clocked over 800 attendances, and think about it. If we've only been open for 4.5 years and we've got students that haven't been coming since the beginning and they've hit 800 attendances, just take a moment to think how many times a week they've been coming, and that blows my mind. I don't even think I would go to another yoga studio for that often and that long. I struggle to get into my own yoga studio. So when it comes to this idea of who we are and where we belong in the industry and in this dynamic and in the world of yoga, I feel like we really have landed in our place, despite what's happened this year. It has been our strongest year ever. It's been our most successful year ever. And I don't, despite being locked down for 3 months. And that's absolutely not possible without you. Without you coming to class and saying, I want this, I need this is important to me, this is important to my family, this is important to my well-being, and I like it here, and I like you guys. Without that, we're nothing. Because you can have the container, but if there's no magic inside, it's just terracotta pot. So I'm going to leave you with that, because I think I've only got 10 minutes, and it's 9 minutes and 45 seconds. But if you've stuck to the end, I love you. Mwah, big love, and hopefully in 2 weeks' time, I can tell you what else is happening. But have a happy new year.